this. Welcome to your ultimate mastermind. This is where we get a chance to come every week and we get a chance to actually come and connect with our entrepreneurs in our business, hang out with you guys. We are, he loves it when I go live, right? Hi, sweetie. Oh, daddy, love you. We're going to be here for about an hour, okay? And then Sally and I have some very important business to take care of. It's not what you think, but it's. I really want to say it, but I'm not going to say it because we're surprising people here. But I know, but we've been talking about it for a while. Okay, fine, surprise you guys again. We're learning how to dance. Well, actually, Sally's learning how to dance with me. So we're having a really powerful time with that because obviously I know how to dance.
And I know how to dance.
But like I'm learning a new version of my dance. Okay, so we're recording this. This is gonna get on the YouTube. If you guys want to be live on your ultimate mastermind, and you want to be with us here, come onto the Zoom channel. Okay, it's in the description. You're more than welcome to join us if you want to share a little bit of your side and your story.
I like our background.
Our background looks pretty cool now, right? I put up the. No, don't say fix. It doesn't look bad. It's all good. Nobody pay attention to the fact that. Never mind. So yeah, this is our background. Our office is slowly coming together. This is my baby. He's quickly coming together, pretty quick. Aren't you a little sweetheart? Look how big this guy is. Let's just take a look at those legs.
This is 9 months.
Look at those chunky legs. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at those chunky little legs. I love you so much, my son. And guys, this is just awesome what a business can do. All right. So quickly, while we can, just quickly introduce our business to anybody who knows or doesn't know. Jen says, nah, cutie. Hey, Bobby from Melbourne, Australia. Melissa, you know Jen. It's funny that you have that name. That's what we call our daughter. Her name is Jennifer, and I call her little Jen. So, hey, Rita, what's going on? Just going to quickly say hi to the people who are here. Laura Lee, hello, gorgeous. Aw, yeah, Mousie's calling me gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And those who are in our group, the Ultimate Mastermind group,
yep,
you're welcome to join us on Zoom.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome to join us on Zoom. Some of you guys, I know it's late because you're in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're going to post the replay. That's what we always do.
Or we can make it earlier next
No.
time. No? An hour earlier?
You gotta show up for your business, and maybe an hour earlier. Why not? We'll figure it out. But we'll absolutely be there for sure. Ty, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Great to see your smiling face, man. You're looking so good, bro. I miss you, dude. Hopefully everything's doing really great with you. What's going on, buddy?
We'll see you Saturday.
Absolutely. He's gonna come by and chill out. I'm gonna do at a new place. I thought she said, and we're gonna blaze. I'm like, what? And our new place. At our new place. We just recently moved, and so Ty's gonna come by. Ty, I guess this is kind of awkward to put you on the spot here, but I was hoping that I might be able to grab some of your time when you're here. I kind of want to interview you and like share with you a little bit and do a go live with you if that's on the docket or the ticket, if you've got time for it, and build some content. Because Ty is one of our one of our dear friends, is a good client of mine, a good friend of mine. We're building our business together, and it's an absolute honor and a blessing and a pleasure to have you part of our mastermind. So you're going to be here. I know that you're going to have nuggets to drop. I know that you're going to have nuggets to drop tonight because we're going to talk about stories. We're going to talk about your story. And not Ty's story, but I mean like your story as an entrepreneur. You guys came out here to try to build a business or to create wealth for yourself. And I like to think that this training is going to help the people who are inside of our business. So Ty, I thank you for joining us. I wanted to drop some stuff in here for people to see. And anyone who's watching us here online on the Go Live, look, Ty's online as well. Man, you're just everywhere, bro. You're like Batman. You're like everywhere at the same time. Christian's here. What's going on? Hey, Cheryl, what's going down? What's up, Wolfpack? Oh, so basically, long story short, we're going to try to condense this version. I was sick and tired of working jobs, and even worse, I was sick and tired of getting fired from them. I kept on either losing my job, I was insubordinate, I didn't want to show up, or if I did show up, I'd show up high, I'd basically just be smoking weed all the time, or something worse. And the reality is that I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I wanted to start my own business because my friend Balazs was having his business, and he was doing good. So I was like, well, screw it. If he can do good, I should be able to do good. I should be able to get it done. So I followed him down a journey that would basically change my life forever. And am so blessed for the mentors, the guides, the events, everything that's helped me break free. I've started my own coaching business. I've been able to find my Sally, create my little son, have a family, no longer need a job, screw jobs. I've gone full-time self-employed, full-time entrepreneur. I've never looked back since, and it's been a wonderful experience being able to become an entrepreneur. This is a piece of my story. It took about 40 seconds, maybe about a minute, 2 minutes, I'm not sure how long. Sometimes I talk a little bit much, but this is a piece of my story. And so this isn't the 35 years this year of my real-time day-to-day. This is a condensed version of where I've been coming from and what brought me into business. You have one of these. It's called an elevator pitch. When you get and we're going to talk about this today. So when you get a chance to share this with people, they get an insight into who you are. They get a chance to say, hey, I like what he just said. That sounds like me. I can relate to that. I want to know more. And they want to know more until they become more comfortable enough to know you, like you, trust you, wanting to do business together. And this feeling is in that. So I thought it would be pretty fitting if everybody shared a little bit about their story as they came in. If you're on the comments, Scotty Z, the Scotty Z. What's up, my brother? How's it going, man? Hopefully you're doing awesome and great. Reggie's here. How's it going, Reginald? Great to see you. If you guys want to drop a comment and talk about your story, it could be a quick paragraph. It could be like a small little story. It could be like how you got into this business, what you're doing here. Take the time to do that. If you want to come on camera, I would absolutely love it if you joined us on our live mastermind. The link is in the description. I did. I put the link in the description, and by all means, you can tell it on camera the way that hopefully my little boy will tell it. Also, my lovely lady and Ty, if you want to share your story, we'd absolutely love to put you on the spot. But let's start with Sally, seeing as we can.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's see. Share with us your story. What you're doing here, the whole nine. You want me to hold him while I do this? Yeah, I would love to hold you.
Sure. Yeah, because we all have our own unique story. So my story, I'd say I'll start when I had a really strong desire 4 years, or not 4 years ago. I'd say maybe 3 years ago. I had a burning desire to really work for myself, and it became like stronger when I was like a single mom with young children. So the more I needed to be working for myself, and I wasn't satisfied enough that I was just staying at home with the children. I felt more satisfied if I was like doing something to create income for myself and for my future, for my family, something that created long-term wealth. And because of that, I started to things started to happen. Opportunities started to come to me, and I didn't start with this business. I started with something else that I got introduced to, and because of that, that's where I learned all the training, how to market online, how to like create your own website, create your own landing page. So it started really more difficult for me. But when I met Bobby, he introduced his own business, and that's where I actually had a comparison. The business is doing is way more, is much better because they have a really incredible product. But although it's not just about the product. It's really about the community as well, and how we are working on ourselves. And I really like that about the business, because not only am I making money from it, I get to work on myself. I still get paid for that. I get to travel. I get to do all this kind of really beautiful things, because I get to travel with my family. So I started to plan things that really helped me get me to be where I am now, to become the person that I really needed to be. So that's really what I like about this. And yeah, so when you have a strong desire, things will just start to come to you. You start to plan things, and then you start to take actions until you get them. So
Cool.
never give up on your dreams.
Absolutely. Okay, so I appreciate that. This is the crafting of your story, guys. We're talking about the one that you tell people, the one that you share with. Her story's been growing since it first started. It's not the same story, even though it's the same thing she went through. The story is elevating as her communication is growing in life. So it's something that I've noticed as an observation. Ty, do you want to? I'm just going to see if I can unmute you here. I'm not sure if you can unmute. If not, there he is. How's it going, my brother from another mother? How's it going, buddy?
Doing good. Doing great.
So I'm going to ask you the same question. What's your story? What brought you here to this business?
Well, I always had this itch, and I always wanted to work for myself, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. So, like, coming out of high school and that, I did all the stuff you're supposed to do and go to school and all that. I went to school to become an electrician, and then it wasn't really my thing. And then I kind of went back to, like, a job, right? And then I went to school again to become a home inspector, and then I went through all of that, but in my mind, I knew I wanted to pursue my passions of traveling and just exploring and experience life, right? Instead of kind of being chained to a cubicle as per se, right? So, and I found this business probably like about 2 months in while I was taking my home inspection course, and it always was in the back of my head, like, what if? And then, so I finished my course. I did all my tests, all my exams. I did all that, and I passed. I was ready to go. And then I had a thought. I was like, is this really what I want to do with, like, my life? Because by doing that, I would kind of be closing the door on kind of like my passions and what I wanted to pursue and what, like, I really, from in my heart, what I, like, really wanted to do. So I found this business, and then I jumped in with both feet, and it's honestly changed my life. So from the personal development to the mentorship to even, like, the growth in myself, and because I used to be a pretty, like, negative kind of Nancy Nazi, whatever you want to call it. So I wasn't really, like, a positive person, but through personal development and reading books and not only, like, helping others, but, like, working on myself too, and how I can, like, evolve as a person and show up in different areas of my life and start taking different actions to get me different results in my life from what I've experienced so far. So something like that. Yeah.
Cool, buddy. I appreciate that, sharing out with us what's going on with your story. Your journey to us has been a really powerful one for me, because you become a really close friend of mine, and I really appreciate you being in my life and being a part of our group and our community. It adds glue, all right? This adds a lot of glue to our family, because we get a chance to see that you're current, you're constant, you're always wanting to show up, you're always expanding and growing your own self. I know bits and pieces of your story because I've seen you grow since you first came in to see me, and now as you're growing into the person you are, there's a calmness, a poise, a posture to your ability. And this is kind of what happens when you get used to telling your story over and over again. Sometimes, you know, the story we tell ourselves or others is BS, and it doesn't motivate anyone. And like Danny was saying back when Sally was talking, beautiful story, resonates with me too. She's accepting or understanding that there's a resonancy with what Sally was saying. How many parents can relate? You think that was funny, Hank? How many parents can relate to being able to take care of their kids from home and not have to, okay, that's because your mouth is in your hands is in your mouth. He's like gagging himself, trying to figure out how much he can take. That's funny. So the reality is that we all do this, guys. We all show up trying to think, you know, but we want something better for ourselves. And we're not the first time and the only time that this happens. Other people are out there. And the better you are at telling your story, the better you are at translating that to someone who wants to actually change their lives. That's the truth. So there's a couple of different ways to tell your story. If someone is going to come on a webinar and you're going to, like Ty or Sally or myself, and you're going to, and you're going to, yeah, sure, let's see if you can make him not squeal. He just gets too squealy with daddy. You're so cute. And, you're going to be faced with, what does your story say about you? This is really the real thing. What story have you been telling yourself and others for the last 30, 40, 50 years of your life? Oh, I'm a so-and-so, or I do this for a living, or I have to take care of my mom, or I got to take care of my kids, or I gave up my thing for someone else. Like, the experiences that you hold suddenly become a piece of who you are. And that can be a pretty scary thought if you're not planning on getting better. And I really think that that's a really strong indicator to think that we should all commit to getting better. All of us should commit to reading the books and becoming the better person and growing as a soul and all of that stuff. A business is just a wonderful way to kick you in the butt to actually get that done, because here we are trying to monetize this. So when you're trying to monetize your story, some people would say you're exploiting it. I would like to think that you're helping other people who resonate with your story, who know what you're going through, who also feel like they need a strand of hope in their life to know that this can be possible for them. I can only imagine how many people are just like Ty to think, hey, I'm going to pick a career. I'm going to go and get educated. I go out to my day in class. I don't want to be here. You're like, oh my God, like this is weird because like I don't know if this is going to be it for me, and is this what life is going to look like? And we get those questions and those thoughts happening to us all the time. Look at him, he's laughing. He's so cute. You're so sweet. See, that's you. You're in there. Say hi. Love my little boy. He's such a sweetheart. So what we're taking a look at, guys, is the reality.
He wants to talk too.
What's your story?
He said,
do you have a story?
When I'm older.
I don't have a story yet. I'm 3 months old, bro.
I'm still collecting them.
Correction, you're 4 months old this month. You're gonna be 4 months old. This guy's a big baby. This reminds me of myself. What a sweetheart. Isn't he so cute?
He's got a story now.
He's a part of my story. As I'm growing, I'm developing and creating better stories to tell. You're so cute. Mwah. And the reality is, guys, is that I wouldn't have been able to do this without Balazs. I wouldn't have been able to do this without Sally. I wouldn't have been able to do this without my son, without you guys, without all the people inside of my life. I owe that, and I respect that so much because I'm paying it forward because I do numerology coaching and I help other people create success in their lives as well. I run our own team as well, so this is what we're doing here. But the reality is that you've got about a bunch of stories. The very first story that you have is the one that you were born into and living day by day. It's your real-time story that is growing the minute you breathe. The instance that you get older, your more of your story is unfolding. Okay, so this is it. Nobody's got 34 years to watch me live to see this whole thing happen. They want to be bit size and small pieces, bite form, so that you can use them. You can use pieces of your story in a post. You can make a one-liner. You can go and do like a 1-minute video. Those are very popular right now. How about a 5-minute video? You can do a quick little 30-second introduction. You have an elevator pitch. You got your 10-minute keynote. You got a guest speaker. You got your hour-long vision of who you are. You have a longer one if someone's got the time and patience to deal with you. So there are different levels of your story that you're going to be telling yourself and telling others on a consistent basis. And your quality of your life depends on this. So if you're out there being like, oh, I was late today because the guy in front of me got into an accident and I spilled my coffee and I peed my pants, so I had to go home and change, and my boss hates me and everything always bad happening. Can you imagine the story you're telling people, what you're expecting when you life to give you? Oh, it's okay, sweetie. When you give out a story like that, like how disempowering is that? As opposed to Sally's, which is like, I wasn't just gonna, sit and be a stay-at-home mom and not have any wealth. I want to create something for myself. I want to be a bigger person. It led me down the road. It led me down. I should stop talking with a roll of napkin paper. Here, let me use my smudging feather.
Yeah.
It led me down the road of being an entrepreneur. No, I'm just kidding. But this feeling is that there is an empowerment to and even Danny was like, beautiful story, resonates with me. I get you. I've been there. How about the person who's been fired a bunch of times and needs to become an entrepreneur? How about Ty's story? There are people out there who will connect with what you are and who you truly are. That's why we're talking about and training you on how to tell your story. It's not about how to sell an Enagic or how to sell gas or how to sell Freedom Team or how to sell GPM or how to sell any one of the layers of organizations you're in there, become a network marketer, anything like that. We're talking about how do you sell yourself. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. And in order for someone to truly want to buy your product or your system or your service or your coaching or your time, they're going to have to experience you. Like 5 to 7 exposures is usually the go-to before someone can feel like, you know what, I've been watching you grow, I see your videos, and people say that to me all the time. I've been watching you grow, I've been seeing your videos, I've been watching you for some time, and it's about time that I book my session in. I wanted to book my time in with you. I wanted to talk to you about your business, or I wanted to work with you somehow. So this is what naturally happens. Imagine that you're, on a date, you go out with a girl 5 or 6 times, maybe 10 times, or you date a guy a couple of times before you get serious, before you actually get into a relationship.
Is that how long it took you to get serious?
To get serious with Sally, a little bit different. I was in a different mind space. I fell in love. It was love at first click, and we were a Plenty of Fish success story. But the reality is, don't be drooling on camera, bro. I know it's a drooly situation. I think he's teething. That's our latest.
This is not fine.
But I know that you're gonna have to take things bit by bit, piece by piece. When I met Sally, we met online. Okay, so I saw her on Plenty of Fish. Then I messaged her. Then she messaged me back. Then we had a phone conversation. Then we started to have phone conversations. Then I went out to see her. Then I went out to see her again. Then I went to see her. Can you see where I'm going with this? We started off as acquaintances, and I just wanted to see if this person's got any chemistry, to the point where I looked into our numbers and said, I want to be with this woman and actually be with her. Our story began. And so that was a piece of getting to know each other that led us into confidence of wanting to be together. The same thing in business. There's a reason why people are focused on 2 things. They want to make money and they want to have their honey. And this is like the reality of life, is that we want to be successful, and success means I've got loving relationships, and then I have a loving business, or I've got love for my wealth, and we want it all. And that's I love my experiences. I want to go travel the world. The feeling is inside of that to think that this is what success means. So no wonder it's very similar. Getting a date is also well as getting a lead, or going and getting steady with someone is the same as getting your gas sign up. Or maybe going really serious, long-term, getting married, moving in, is the same thing as them buying their Enagic. You have to give it time. If you went up to a lead for the very first time, this is the very first thing they see from you, and you're putting a post out there. So they don't know you from a door in the wall, and they're basically seeing your story for the first time, and it says something like, oh, the water you drink sucks, you need to buy this Enagic machine, it's $5,000, and you've never heard it before because the government's trying to keep it down, and your job sucks, and I know you hate it, so you may as well come and join our cult. People are going to be like, what the hell? And I did that to people. That's how my game was. Like, trust me, it wasn't working. No wonder I didn't make sales when I was the first in my business, was because I kept on just regurgitating all my stuff out there. There was no, and imagine if you do this in a date and you're just like, oh, you should marry me, I'm gonna be super good to you, your current husband sucks, and you should break up with them, you should be with me. They're gonna be like, you're an idiot, what are you doing? At least ask me for a drink first, or see if I'm even available, or make a connection. Like, actually, let's have a conversation. And what do you do inside of a date conversation? It's as good as an interview, guys. You're basically questioning and quizzing each other to see where you stand on certain things. That's what people do when they meet each other. They want to know, do we share similar interests? And even now on Plenty of Fish and Tinder and the Bumbles and all of the dating apps out there and the Match.com and all that stuff, you get a chance to actually have a first exposure to someone before you even talk to them. The same thing is happening online. Someone posts a story. You got an entrepreneur, you're telling them your story, they get a chance to see you, feel you out a little bit before they decide, I'm going to reach out to this person. I'm going to ask them for more info, or I'm going to send them a message, or I'm going to like their page. I'm going to follow them a little bit and, see what they're all about. Because why not? Facebook says I should like this. I vibed with that person, and I'm going to follow their journey. Melissa says, so true, making a connection. People want to trust. You need to, because at the end of this, there's a big bill. There's a big, huge $10,000, $13,000 package that's like, oh, buy this. It's going to be the best thing. You don't do that to someone right at the very beginning. Like, I'm not going to meet you for coffee and be like, oh, let me take you to Mexico. You'd be like, at least, buy me a coffee first. Let's at least have a conversation first. See if this goes anywhere. Because I know people who have done that. And then half a week through, they're like, I hate you too. This was a shitty experience. I can't believe I'm doing this. And the feeling is there that does happen to people. So you're not alone. If you feel like you've been overexcited and you've regurgitated too much information, you look like my little boy spitting up his lunch, and the feeling is there that to think, I want to be successful, but man, I just keep on crashing myself into myself. So let's talk about these different stories. Let's talk about the different purposes for all of the different levels of story that you have. Let's start at should we start at the small end or at the big end?
Let's start small end.
So let's start at the small end. I call this one the one-liner, okay? Let's call this one the one-liner. Hey, Melissa, what's up? What's going on? So the one-liner, okay? This is a perfect one sentence, maybe two sentences. If it's a two sentences, it's really not a one-liner, just saying. But the reality is that do you have a quick little snipe of a sentence that attracts and engages? Okay, so this could be a post. This could be something that someone says, hey, what do you do? I help people become free. Or or you can say, I help people buy their dreams back. Or something that would make someone be like, what the hell? Nobody says that. What the hell are you talking about? I help people dream again. I help people create their success. I teach people how to do something extraordinary. I help people live extraordinary lives. There are one-liners out there that you can craft, find your own. Those are a few of mine that would work in order to make someone be like, interesting. Tell me more about that.
Okay, give them an example.
Of a one-liner?
One line for you.
So, so like let's say someone's at a party. What do you do? I help people meet themselves. I introduce people to themselves. Or like, I am a solution artist. That's another one I love using. I got a solution for every problem, baby. Whatever you're dealing with, I will help you. That's that feeling in there that's like, you kind of answered my question, but really you just now you're giving me more questions. And so this is the point of a one-liner. And sometimes I'll do this. Sometimes I do this, okay? Sometimes I don't want to talk to the person and I'm not interested in doing business. I tell them I'm a numerologist, I'm a spiritual coach, or I say I sell magic equipment, I sell water ionizers, I'm a network marketer. There are different things that I can say that will close the conversation. I'll be like, oh shit, he's going to try to sell me something. He's going to try to tell me something, or he's going to try to take my money. I better not ask him what he does for a living, because I'm afraid there's going to be a sale somewhere. And we were dealing with this with the lady that we know, a friend of ours, who's, I'm not going to say too much, but our kids go to the same school, and Sally's like, oh, we should get in touch with this person. We should build a relate. We should, try to sell them our machine or whatever. And I'm like, let's just play this slow game and let's let her approach. She doesn't, because she's used to it. She made this comment, oh, every one of my friends has a thing they sell. They're always trying to sell something, whether it be a little essential oil or something else. And I can feel Sally being like, oh, that's my cue. That's my cue to tell her what we sell. And I'm like, shh, just don't say anything. This is like high level, negotiation, interrogation tactics, where we don't want to just go out there and be like, yeah, me too. Come to my water party. We want to be friends first. Let's let our kids play. Don't make this awkward. Don't start you don't just, you're looking at the girl you like and you're like, oh, should we, do it later? Like, you don't just say, sipping her coffee, so we should totally have sex, hey? Like, you don't do that. You just, you start talking and see, is there a chemistry? Is there a connection? Is there a point of interest?
Also, it's different if you're talking to someone in person.
Especially,
online,
especially if you're talking to someone in person. Well, yeah, because if you're gonna do that in person, people are expecting you to go off for a few minutes. They're expecting, you can't just take a one-liner. One-liners are used to, like, imagine you're playing ping pong with someone. You want to lightly bat it forth, you go back in, and then you wait for the opening and you slam it down. Poor analogy, especially in sales, relationship building. We'd slam our opponent. That's not what I'm talking about. The reality is, is that we want to play back and forth. You want to throw it away and let them bat it back. So you kind of like say, so I'm a solution artist. Oh, that's cool. What does that mean? I help people find out who they are. And we start unloading the story a little bit more as we go. Sorry, I noticed there was a comment here. I feel like I have a blockage. I show up constantly. I have some valuable content, have some leads, but can't get them over the line. I'm trying to have conversations with them, non-business related, to create trust. Would like to see what my numbers are. This isn't a numerology reading, but I will absolutely tell you this. I will tell you this. You're exactly right, okay? You have to, on one side, balance the fact that you're here to do business and you actually want to help them get somewhere, like you respect your time. And the other side, you want to protect the fact that you look like you're not just trying to take their money, when really you want to. You're not friends with them for no reason. They're a lead of yours. You want to set posture. You know you have valuable content. You have your own story, Melissa, and Melissa's a really powerful name. So just a small little token on Melissa. That's a really wonderful, super loving, cares about the other. You're going to get caught caring more about their story than you will about your own business and not wanting to ruffle any feathers. It's all good. Oh, no, no worries. This is what Melissa says, the vibration that shows up in there. So absolutely, you're going to see inside of your numbers that that's what exists. Okay, so it is out there that you may be a little bit more giving to others, but not giving to yourself. This is an issue. We'll talk about this in your session. Book it now, www.bobbyfferreira.com.xyz. Just kidding. But the reality is that we want to convey our message at the same time holding posture. So some quick little tips when you're getting a lead online. You want to set up the idea and the stage that you're busy, that you understand what this thing can do for others and yourself, and you want to be the one in control asking questions to learn their story. It's not about how much of your story you tell, but more about how much of their story they want to give to you. Your story that you give, your ad, your video, your one-liner, your story ad, your whatever thing you're doing, your entire business page is intended to be a cookie crumb trail for them to say, me too, me too, me too. What now? Now that you've got me saying me too, what is this thing you're working on? What is it that you're doing? I would like to know. This is where we want to get to. So if you're not getting there and you're basically not getting them over the line, you can point blank just cut right through it. This will cut the tension and just to be like, look, this is an opportunity to work together. This is not a job. There's an investment component. We do sell products. We sell systems. We'd like to show it to you. But the real vision, the real question I have is, what's your vision? What's the direction you want to take your life? Can you imagine? Nobody gets asked that question. Yeah. Nobody gets asked what your why is. What are you doing on this planet? Why are you here? What's your purpose? What's the legacy you leave behind? This is the reality of what we're dealing with inside of our business, is that people are like, oh, let me just pretend like we like each other or like we just want to know each other so that I can get them to, there's still the energy of them being sold something. And that can be super crazy. Do you want to add on to that?
Yeah, it's important to ask the reason for doing something like that, like an online business. Because if they don't really have a strong desire, then it's hard to convince them. And also you want to say something that will make them ask you more questions and without you actually saying it. So talking about the one-liner, I wanted to say, also I want to tell the story of when I went to buy something. That I went to Home Depot or Canadian Tire, and then like he asked me, so are you having a good day? Having a good weekend? And I said, yeah, well, every day is pretty much a weekend for me. And it's like, I just said that, and it's like, if you don't, you probably, you stay at home? No, I actually work from home. So that led to a conversation, and he started asking me, so this is personal, but what do you do? So I pretty much told him that
You see there, he's got a dreamer inside of him. And Sally was there to position herself, gets inches a little bit closer. Because I know Sally, you're like a regular human being. You deal with anxiety just the rest of all of us do. Like sometimes we don't feel too certain on our voice. I get it. I'm like, Sally, just do it like a 90-day go live challenge. You go live every day. She's like, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, come on, this is going to help you get better. Because for me, obviously, all I do is freaking talk. But the reality is that she's inching closer and closer to this posture-like conversation where then she threw in a one-liner. She's like, well, every day is like a weekend. And the guy's like, oh, so you just stay at home? Like, you see how what she said made him say something and made him respond? And she's like, well, actually, I work from home. Oh, if you don't mind, this is super personal. Like, make sure Mr. Canadian Tire doesn't see this. But what is it that you do? Like, can we get into that conversation? At that point, when somebody says that, I'd be like, you know what?
Drop your link.
Drop your link. I can. What I'll do is I will send you some information. It'll take a little bit of time to digest. Trust me, it'll be the best thing you ever watch. Oh my God, it's awesome. I can't talk about it right here because you're getting in trouble with your boss. Why don't you just you know what? Pull out your phone. You know what? Put in your Facebook. Go ahead and enter your Facebook. Search for your account. I'll add you as a Facebook friend. It's easy. Nobody cares about that. Oh, sure, yeah. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on here. Do you have a LinkedIn or even worse? Oh my God. Text me your email address. Text me your email address. I'll reach out to you and I'll share some stuff with you. This is an invite into how to get into a further conversation. She successfully sold the one-liner. Because this guy's like, what do you do? That's the purpose of a one-liner. So you get a chance to do this over a story. It's not one line anymore. You got to actually share some pain points. And you have to make it look positive. Because, well, there's a Facebook algorithm out there that says, oh, you can't just talk stupid, dirty trash. Nobody wants to see that on Facebook. We want to see things that people like and love. There's no hate button. There's only a like and a love. And there's a sad and a wow. I get it. But most of it is to say, let's be funny, happy, loving. I like this. And let's work together. I want to spend time on this as opposed to rallying against stuff. And this is why you get a lot of those people who are like truthers and the world is flat. I'm like, I can tell you right now there's a mountain in front of me. It's definitely not flat. I don't know what shape it is, but it's definitely not round either. So I'm not going to just identify based on a political view or like a geographical view. And I've been in a plane. I understand that the shape is anything but flat or round, so I don't know what it is. But exactly. But the reality is, my thinking is that after numerology, we're all just living in a computer program. Take that for a while. So when you're getting a chance to see someone's story, you're buying it or you're rejecting it. Conversation, communication, that is sales, okay? So whatever you're selling, whatever you're saying, whatever you're experiencing, right now I'm selling you an idea and you're like, yep, oh, so true, absolutely. Or you're like, I don't care what this guy's talking about, bye, and click him off. I get it, I'm going live. I'm here for an hour. Oh, shoot, it's been an hour already.
Really?
Well, we're going to get, anyway. So the reality is that you got a couple of different stories that you can tell. When you have a minute, you have enough story to get someone to like you. When you have 5 minutes, you have enough story to make them really think. Like before the 1 minute video, there was the 5 minute video. Apparently people had more attention span in the past in the social media age. But the reality is that you can speak for 5 minutes. And Balazs's 5 minute story went a little bit like, him sitting on top of a mountain, and he's basically being like, I love my life, I enjoy it. He's watching himself on his phone. And he's like, what would your everyday look like if you didn't have to go to work? If you didn't have to answer an alarm, if you didn't answer to someone, you could hop into your car, go on a commute, do a job you didn't like. What would it look like to you to have something of power and of presence? Would that be of value to you? Let me share with you my journey. I was going and jumbling through jobs. I basically couldn't find a successful business. And I realized that I had to learn about who I was, develop personally, take personal development and personal achievement to the next level if anyone was ever going to listen to me. And then also, of course, numerology came in there for Balazs. That's how I found out about it. But the reality is that he was growing as an entrepreneur and he wanted to find something that worked. He did, and he improved on it. Not only did he become a really powerful water guru salesman, but he also put a business around it. And then he put a community around it. And then he put a system on top of that. And then he put another community on top of that. And now there is a bunch of coaches, systems, leaders, fastest growing business in Enagic, fastest growing business in all of the world. I don't know, whatever the records that he's breaking inside of Global Prosperity Movement. It makes you want to be a part of this. So that 5 minute video was an invitation to either message me, follow my page, like what I'm doing, follow my journey, not click here and sign up now. It's more like see what your life would be possible. See what's out there. Go ahead and take a further look. Of course, he knows he's got another hand to play because he went from the 1 minute, the instant vibration, all the way to a 5 minute video. And then it goes a little bit deeper now to think about what would it look like to actually have the person pay to see the pitch. This is what we have now with our group. Inside of a global affiliate zone, people are customers before they're actually customers. They're partners before they actually, look at this, he's so cute. They're already customers of ours before they even get to the final end. And I was like, when this first started, I'm like, this is never going to work. I was like super skeptical. I'm like, wait a second, we're selling like an $8,000, $10,000 package, and you're telling me that you want me to sell them at $99 a month before they even get a chance to see that? Are you serious? And it's working. Why? Because it's easier to buy something small and tangible to weed out the people who are not qualified, who don't know what they're doing, and they basically just tire kick in a business. You don't want to have to spend all that time listing out 150, 200 of your family and friends, embarrassing yourself. Let's go for coffee. Hey, what's up? 2 people show up at the same time. Oh, God, what am I supposed to do? And this feeling is like I'm super sneaky, and I get that. And so what we're doing now is to say, let's do attraction style marketing. Let's share our story. Let's share our growth. Let's share our timeline so that we can get better and better every single day, but more and more powerful, more and more posture. I remember doing this. I was watching a video of mine from 4 years ago, and I was like stammering, and ums and ahs. I didn't have any connection. I was trying to find the right words, and I'm like, oh, Bobby, you're so cute without a beard. You look like your son. And now I'm like, no way, baby. I got a big-ass, badass beard. I love it. I'm just cool. But the reality is that I've grown into myself. You guys have seen this. You've seen my journey. You've seen me grow through in and out of depression, in and out of this, and now in and out of this one. And hey, to get this little boy, I've grown, and I absolutely will continue to keep growing. Okay, I got a 10-minute mark, so we're absolutely going to make sure that we finish up on time. But the reality is, guys, is that my story is evolving. I know that I'm not going to share all of this with someone within a 5-minute radius. I understand that there's going to be hour-long sessions. I do like 3 or 4 times a week. I understand there's going to be 15, 25, 30-minute go-lives. There's going to be posts. Have you guys ever read some of my stories? They're long. They're like 2.5 pages long of screen flip. Okay, I also have smaller ones. I have one-liners. I have content. I'm amassing. You're such a good boy. Look, you're copying daddy now. Just yelling online. I'm amassing a content library that will serve as a timeline of my success and a timeline of how I grow. And I suggest that you do the same. I suggest that you stand up for yourself, you stand up for your story, you stand up for your journey, and you give it the justice that it deserves. Just because you have no results and nobody will listen to you and you don't have any posture doesn't mean that you don't have a story. And sometimes it can turn out super shitty and you don't even know what the hell you're doing. Film the video anyways. Post it anyways. Tell the story anyways. When you grow to the bigger version of this, and we'll end with this. This is what I suggest you guys all take some homework to do this. The biggest story you could possibly write is the one that you've been living. This is I was born on this day, I was a kid, then I went to school, and then you bring people up to speed about who you are, the highlight reel, or the dim light reel, if you want to talk about your bad spots as well. You take people through this journey into where you are today, and then you talk about where you're going. So I found this business, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to help 50 people become millionaires in their lives. I'm going to write books. I'm going to go and speak on stages. I'm going to go and do something. Christine Evans, boy, did I need this right now. Aw, you're so sweet. I appreciate you. Go and write your full-on story. Like write a book. Go and write your own biography. At a certain point, you're going to run out of story. 2019, here we are. How are you? You're so cute. And then you're going to start thinking, okay, where do I go from here? The story becomes a projection of what your business is and what your life and what the vision of you're going to do inside of your life to be successful and worthy, epic, and all of that, okay? So you're going to have this big, huge code of book that's from your own account, your own personal account of what happened, make it your own timeline, and include the next 10 years. Put a 10-year vision on top of this. They say, oh, write your vision, write your goal, write your story. Write this thing out as detailed as you possibly can manage, and then you're going to have a page to turn to and say, I bet you there are a lot of people who were, when they were 10, that they also got in trouble at school, and it was one of the motivating factors for them to not feel like they have a voice, or to feel like they got rejected, or that they weren't good enough, or they had problems with their parents, or their parents were mean to them, or their family was something, whatever. And they connect to my 10-year-old. And there are people out there who are going to, oh, let's go to this one. Oh, great. When I was 25 and I kept getting fired and I had to go to school. And when I wanted to go to school on the other side, I didn't want to go to school. I just wanted to be a boss. And so I dropped out of school to be a salesman. And this is like another version of the people out there of the story that I have. You're going to be able to take any one of these pages of your book and
start
write
your story
and
with that.
start your story with
pick
that.
Any parts of your life, and then you can start with that. Like, I'll share something that I learned from when I took communications, like NLP.
Yeah.
And he said something like, what do you do? So that was the question, what do you do? And to answer that with just one sentence that doesn't really tell them exactly what you do, but would make the other person think that you were doing that. So without actually giving them the idea, they would create that idea for themselves. So example is, for me, if I'm doing affiliate marketing, then I can say something without saying I'm an affiliate marketer. So I can say I'm a woman who used to think making money was hard until I realized until I realized that all you need is skills and have fun and you can get rich. So what does that tell you when I say that? So you can pretty much tell that I've gone through the experience of learning the skills and I was having fun and now I make money because of that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So without actually telling them.
And your story is absolutely valuable. I promise you guys, there is worth and value in who you are, who you authentically are. Not an affiliate marketer, not a network marketer, distributor, an adjunct salesman, gas person. You are you. You have your own brand, and people love to cheer and root for the underdog. They love to see a real life success and be a part of it. To imagine that you're going to be a part of someone else's success, that should really help get you out of bed in the morning. To know that because you decided to take that chance to actually, invest in yourself, invest in your story, to share it with the world, it can be something that changes someone's life forever. I promise you guys, it's something super dear to my heart. I've been able to help single moms. I've been able to help people who are business, people who are just getting out of their work. I've been able to retire my buddy who's a teacher, health nutritionist, you name it. Across the board, I've been able to work with a lot of people, and I feel so proud to think that we're just getting started, and that this is just the beginning of my story, and that it wasn't getting good until these guys came along, with Sally and the kids, and now my own, and I'm living my dream now, guys, and it's only getting started. The BS story I was telling myself was only holding me back, and I had to divorce that story and marry my truth, and I got a new story, and it keeps on evolving. So don't be afraid to write down exactly who you are, good, bad, or otherwise, and have that feeling beside you to know that when you do become some greater power, your story will also go through an evolution, okay? Eva saying, I always wondered how I would describe what it is I do. Thank you so much for your insight. There you go. How do you describe it? It's a wonderful feeling. It's all about learning these skills and getting a community around you of people who are like-minded, having fun, and getting out there. If you don't want to do a video, go live, record a video. If you don't want to record a video, record an audio. If you don't want to record an audio, write a book. If you don't want to write a story, go. I don't know what you're doing in this business. If you don't want to share your story and you're like, well, I'm afraid to tell people who I am, and I don't want to just air out all my laundry, clean up your laundry first. Don't go out there with blood stains and dirty rips and everything and start telling people, oh, I hate my job and you should hate yours too and this and that. If you said that in a empowering way, it would be like, look, I've been working really hard and I knew that I wanted something more. Not only was I working really hard, I was going to miss out on my kids growing up, and that scared me so much to know that I was going to find an opportunity and find a new way to leverage my time and to actually break free from the monotony of just an everyday commute. And my heart goes out to all of the parents who have to work jobs to provide for their family because they think that it's impossible for them to be entrepreneurs. I used to be that way. And all I understand now is that after you commit and after you continuously grow, you're going to get somewhere. That's another one of my stories. And it's attached to helping someone who's dealing with the same fear. Oh, my kids are growing up and I'm watching them on pictures and I'm not there to be with them. That's a fear I wasn't willing to have. Oh my gosh, because I need you right here in front of me. When I'm doing my business, you're going to be right here in front doing the business too. Look how sweet and cute you are. You're so cute. Mwah. So guys, that's basically enough that we have time for today. Your story matters. Go out there and get it done. Write it out. I challenge you guys all. I challenge you. If you want to be a part of this, go and do a video, a live, a story. Write it out. Post about your story, about something that a fear that you've had in your life that is a reason why it's motivated you to go and create a business. What were you afraid of? What were you running from? What was the bear in your story that you were running from that made you say, take my money, take it? And I pulled out my RSPs, 401s for you US folks. I pulled out all of my savings and I got them all in $100 bills, and I went to Anatchi and I bought my equipment because I wanted to invest in something that was going to be there 5 years later this month. This is my 5th year, and it's changed my entire world. And if you told me 5 years ago that I would never work a job again, I would make over 6 figures, have multiple 5-figure months, be holding my son, woman of my dreams, I would have told you you're completely crazy because I'm not going in that direction. But here we are, and it was all because of a really powerful friendship, a connection. One friend, one word, one sentence, one moment can change your life forever.
The power of one.
Let the power of one. Let this be that moment for you to see that your dreams and reality can. I was watching a video of myself in 2015, my 1-year anniversary, of me on a penthouse, 17th floor, downtown Yaletown in Vancouver, talking about how grateful I was for this opportunity. I was sitting there being like, wearing a T-shirt with a suit jacket over top of it. I thought it was so cool. I just wear T-shirts now. I don't do the sport jackets anymore. I sport the beard. That's the real what's up. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching and sharing this with us. Ty, for coming and sharing your value and dropping that with us. We will be here again and again and again. It is the same thing, baby. Everybody's going through the same thing. You're scared of this business. Your shit gets caught up with you. You have to either break or break through. What are you going to do? You're going to break down or break through. Setups or setbacks or setups for comebacks. And whatever you do, don't give up on yourself. Persistence is key. It's about persistent effort over an extended period of time. It's also about power. And absolutely make sure that you always link in with us. I'm going to post this to my YouTube. If you haven't worked with me yet, I'd love to work with you. If you're not inside of our business, if you're looking for a mentor, we're here. Absolutely, you get a chance to build your legacy and your dream with us. And thank you so much for spending this hour with us and a few minutes being here with us while we do this. Yeah. This is my passion, and this is for my son. This is so that you can grow up and know that you are a powerful sweetheart. And that you're a good boy. Oh, he's hungry. He's hungry. It's been an hour with no milk. He's like, are you kidding me, Mom? Are you kidding me? Oh. All right, guys, you guys have a great night. We got dancing practice. We're going to put the baby down gently as soon as he gets fed. And then I'm going to go practice my moves. All right, cool. We'll see you guys later. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
Thank you, Ty.
See you, Ty.
So happy to have you.
All right, guys.